Every year about this time, we have water ski competition here in eastern North Carolina at Beaver Lake, which has become one of the top water ski venues in the entire United States of America. And the guy responsible for making it happen every year is my friend Jeff Mitchell. Jeff organizes this thing and has a different spin on it every year. And this year, a really neat spin. They're going to have night skiing at Beaver Lake. On the telephone right now is Jeff Mitchell. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Good morning, Henry. How are you?
This is a first, right? Have we ever had a nighttime water ski competition in eastern North Carolina?
Well, last year we did a preliminary event just to test out all the logistics, and we know what works. We know where to place the lights, and we've had some jumpers go out there and hit it. So we feel like we've got everything dialed in from a logistics standpoint to really have a great event this Saturday night.
So the night ski, there'll be skiing during the day as well, but the night event starts at 6:30 on Saturday. Now do you how does this work? Are the water ski guys wearing illuminated suits and that kind of stuff?
No, actually, well, what we'll do, because it won't actually get dark until closer to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we'll kick off the festivities about 6:30 or shortly thereafter, and we've got some other things going on. We've got some exciting head-to-head slalom matchups lined up where there'll be like the two skiers going head-to-head. They'll each have their own boat. Where one will go out and set the bar, and the next skier will have to match that, and they'll keep going head-to-head until somebody declares victory on that. And great announcing, got Tommy Newman coming from Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, just a fabulous announcer that everybody will enjoy. But we'll have the slalom head-to-head. We're going to have some then we'll do the first round of jump. We'll probably kick off about 7:30 to 8 o'clock, which will be the top 8 jumpers from the daytime competition. So we'll have 8 jumpers, and then we'll cut to 4 for the semifinals, and then we'll cut to 2 for the finals.
All right. Now, if people aren't familiar with Beaver Lake, it is north of Ahoskie, just a couple of miles. If you know where Winton, North Carolina is, and the Chowan River Bridge, you just head up Highway 13, 258, north of Ahoskie. And you got
158,
158 and 13, yeah. And so you cross over the Chowan River Bridge, and boom, you're right there. It's another half mile or so after you get over the bridge, and it's amazing. This thing draws every year when you have this big competition, Jeff. You get the top water ski champions from around the country. Talk about some of the folks, where they're coming from, and who's going to be there this weekend.
Like you said, I'm always, tweaking the recipe on our events a little bit, and this one is combining the nighttime event, the night jump focus, with a daytime record capability tournament. So that draws in slalom skiers and jumpers that are national and world class skiers, because they can come here and have the potential to set a record or get a score that'll advance them on the world standings list. So, speaking of who we've got coming, on the slalom side, April Coble from Lillington, North Carolina, that runs Coble Ski School, top 5 in the world in women's slalom. Karen Truelove from Orlando, wife of Freddie Krueger. Corey Vaughn from Northern Virginia. Joel Howley from Australia, that is currently in the United States. And he won the Moomba Masters in downtown Melbourne, Australia, a few months ago, by the way. And as I mentioned, Freddie Krueger. Freddie won't be jumping at night, but just to tell you, we got things going on all weekend. He'll be jumping Saturday afternoon, in the record capability portion of it, because he knows he can come to Beaver Lake and the conditions will be good and he'll get a good score. So, if people can come out in the afternoon, it's a rare opportunity to see Freddie. He just upped his world record about 4 weeks ago in Orlando to 250 feet. So,
wow.
It's like it's the comparison of watching a normal routine jumper is like, no offense here, but it's like watching you hit a golf ball off the tee and then watching Tiger Woods hit a golf ball off the tee. So,
there's that much difference, huh? Thank you for that analogy, Jeff. I appreciate that.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and so it's going to be going on all day on Saturday. So you open the doors, what, about 8 o'clock in the morning? But things going
That's
on.
right.
It sounds like you're going to have a long day because what time will you finish up Saturday night with a night event?
Well, the night event, like I said, will kick off about 6:30 or so, and then we'll probably wrap up about 10:30 to 11. So thank goodness that Monster Energy is our title sponsor because I'm probably going to need a couple of their beverages to get me through the weekend.
Yeah, I noticed your list of sponsors. As usual, you have good support for this from some of the top level water ski sponsors around the state and around the country. So you want to plug a couple of the folks that you are helping you out with this thing?
Absolutely, yeah. Nucor Steel, who's a big corporate neighbor right here in Hertford County. Again, Metal Tech of Murfreesboro. Overton's right there from Greenville. Hofsky Travel and Tourism, and Griggs Lumber Company, Roanoke Chelan News Herald, Duck Fruit Food Stores, and Southern Insurance, Rose Brothers Paving. I mean, all these companies have come together and just given us tremendous support.
I didn't know Metal Tech was one of your big sponsors. You're talking about my kinfolk up there in Murfreesboro with Ray Felton.
Ray is
that's
super.
my kinfolk.
Yeah, they are good people, and Ray. Ray believes in Beaver Lake, and he's always out there. He and Judy at our events, and he's been a great advocate for what we've been doing out there.
While we're talking about Beaver Lake, for folks who haven't heard about Beaver Lake, Jeff, tell the story about how Beaver Lake came into being one of the top water ski venues in the country, because you never have any wind out there, right? And there's a reason for that. Tell the story about how the lake came about.
Well, I mean, the lake was started with being a sand pit for the highway project back in 1970 when the Chelan River Bridge was built 2 miles 2 miles south of us, and then about 1989, 90, my dad was a tax supervisor in Gates County at the time. He spotted this pond on aerial photos in the tax office and told me about it, and we were. The ski club was based on the Pasquotank River in Elizabeth City at the time, and some of us went over there and looked at it. And after a year or two of negotiating with the owners, we worked out a lease and eventually got control of the property, and it's just been evolving ever since. So it's been a fun ride, and we're excited about the future too. So.
And when folks come out there and ski, some of the top water ski people in the country and around the world come out there, they talk about how it's one of the best spots in the world to water ski, right?
Yeah, well, we've got very controlled conditions. Like you said, I mean, the lake is surrounded by tall trees, and we've got so that the winds can't really get in there, and we've got the banks of the lake are sloped, so like a 10-to-1 grade. So the boat wakes when the boat goes through. They just roll up on the shore gently and dive. So you come back through, and every pass is as good as the first one.
And it's also a great spot to watch water skiing. It's a beautiful lake out there. So,
that's one thing. Yeah, just talking to the spectators. Admission's free. So you can't beat the price. And Gates County EMS, to put a plug for them, they're fantastic partners. They're going to be doing the food and beverage concessions Saturday evening. So they'll, you don't have to worry about eating dinner. Come out there, the food is very cheap, and the beverages are there. So something for everyone. Just there'll be a couple of bleachers, but you can bring a beach chair or a lawn chair or a blanket, whatever you're comfortable with. Please don't bring any coolers, because we will have, they will have concessions as their fundraiser out there. But like you said, the viewing is spectacular. I mean, because the jumping is going on literally less than 100 feet away from you. So, mean, you're watching them fly by. It's pretty cool.
Well, hopefully you'll have great weather for it. And the first nighttime water ski event, you tried it last year, but this will be the first real competition. So people come out.
Yeah, we've got a field of jump. We got a field of jumpers coming up from Florida for this, and we've got some jumpers coming from Tennessee for this, and and we've got some cash prizes Saturday night to motivate these guys to really go for it for the fans, and And I'll tell you, it's like every sport. You know, when they hear the fans in the stands or on the beach, in this case, yelling for them, it drives them to go a few feet further. So we're counting on the crowd out there in the Roanoke Chowan area and Greenville to show up and let these skiers know that they like water skiing here in eastern North Carolina.
All right, Jeff Mitchell, Beaver Lake, the big water ski competition coming up this weekend at Beaver Lake up in Gates County, just north of Ahoskie. Good luck with it, my friend.